Hi, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to Stardew Therapy, where we talk about everyday issues and hopefully you find some parts of it relatable and know that you're not alone in facing these issues no matter where you are and who you are. Hopefully we all can come together and lend one another a helping hand. You have experienced this before. Share experience, share your insights on how you overcame this issue. Today we have a viewer submitted a problem. He or she mentioned that eating disorders or imposter syndrome. So it wasn't very specific, so I can't really give any specific advice. But yeah, and also I can't really speak on the eating disorders because I've never had it before. But I can speak on imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is something that I felt around elementary school to high school. So I'll give some context on it. I had that feeling of being a fraud and I don't belong during that period of time. I remember it was around middle school, and perhaps I should give you a context of what it's like in Singapore. What exactly is middle school? So in middle school in Singapore, I think it's secondary school. So I suppose those people in the UK will know what this means, because we take on we adopt the British kind of education system. So essentially we have a national exam where every teenager will take this national exam called the O-levels, where the O-level results will help us get into the next stage of our education, which is high school, or in our country we'll call it junior college or polytechnic. So that's the context there. But personally I felt that I wasn't a very bright kid during secondary school. I was an average student. I really was an average student. And when I say I'm an average student, the kind of grades I get was average. I never got an A before. I don't think I ever did. Oh, I've completely forgot I got a prismatic shard. I never got an A before. I never got an F. So that's a truly an average student, isn't it? No A, no F. So just tons of D, C's, and the occasional B if I'm lucky enough. So that's like typical average student there. And I was kind of a forgettable student. I wasn't doing well enough for teachers to take notice of me, and I mean teachers know me here and there, but sometimes they just liked the A students more, the student leaders, those that always volunteering themselves, being the teacher's pet. Yeah, and that's the case. And I was okay with that. I was okay with that. All these A students, they study hard, they do well. What is this? Starting tomorrow, a traveling merchant fleet will dock at Pelican Town for the yearly night market. Ooh, night market! The market starts at 5 PM and will be in port for the next 3 days. Starting tomorrow. Okay, please visit the beach. And there's free coffee, that's nice. So what I was trying to say is that, did all these A students have all the attention? And I don't really need all this attention at all. Yeah. And I wasn't scoring well for teachers to take notice. But what was interesting is, during the O-levels, when we got back all of our results, I got in the 20%. My results was very good. I was in the top 20%. And that was a very surprising moment for me, and even for the teachers. Because when I told the teachers, when the teachers saw my results, they were surprised, and the first thing my homeroom teacher said, "Oh, you got lucky, isn't it?" Okay, that kind of stings a little, but that was true to some extent, because when I compare my experience, okay, when I was preparing for the O-levels, the amount of hard work I put in, I would say it was about, what is this? Dark feather, that's interesting. The amount of effort I put in was, I would say, 30% out of 100%. And comparing it with the kind of effort I put in university, is such a far cry from university, isn't it? My university, I would be putting in 100%, and my O-level exam preparation was 30%. And that was true. I suppose maybe I got lucky. Maybe I got lucky. And that really stuck with me for quite some time. You know, I did so well that I beat some of the A students. So that was like, I don't know, maybe I'm just lucky. That was what I thought. And that was something that, you know, as I went into polytechnic. So if y'all didn't know, I think high school in US, like the counterpart for us in Singapore, is that it's either we go to junior college where we take the A levels, which is another national exam, or we can have the choice of going into a polytechnic where we are taking a diploma. A diploma is like a mini university degree where they offer the same kind of courses, and it's like your business, your psychology, and whatever not, but it has lesser modules and everything, so it's an easier version. And then, you know, sometimes these people, after they graduate, they either work or they go to university. So I mean, you get to choose between junior college, which you are studying very typical mathematics, chemistry subjects, or you can go to something more specialized, which is in polytechnic. So I went into polytechnic, and having scored so well, right, I was able to go to, I have a lot of choices. I can go to different courses, whatever courses I wanted. And I chose to go into a psychology course. Psychology course is very popular. It has a high like barrier to entry where it requires you to score very well. And I scored very well to allow me to go into a psychology course. And then it was a very tough time in the first few years because a lot of the smart students also went to the psychology course. And when I went in there, I was just terrible, because in psychology you have to write a lot of papers, right? But my command of the English language, my writing skills was terrible, absolutely trash as compared to the other school students. Just for some context, I come from a neighborhood school, so in the US context or in the UK context, I come from a publicly funded school, a government funded school. So you have a lot of very poor kids, and you have kids from just commoners background, your peasants background. I mean, then you have the private school, which is all the rich kids where they get all the best education possible. So I came from a neighborhood school, and my command of the English language, like most of our parents are all just, most of them are either uneducated or, you know, they are educated to some extent to middle school level or elementary school level. So you can kind of see the kind of standards we have there. And I was just bad at writing, absolutely trash at writing. And when I started in my first year in polytechnic, you know, it's just a reminder every time that, hey, you got lucky. You know, whatever my homeroom teacher said to me, hey, you really got lucky, man. You got in because, you know, I don't know, you put in a little bit of work and the results was so great for you, but other people put in so much work and they didn't get the kind of results that they wanted. And it's just, it didn't felt nice, and I have very low self-esteem afterwards. I just didn't believe in myself, and for the first year it was atrocious. It didn't feel nice at all. But for some reason, as time goes by, in the second year, it's a 3-year course. The second year I was doing slightly better. For some reason, you know, I really wanted to improve myself. I didn't want to suck, so I kept on improving. I kept on learning from others. I kept on asking teachers for help, you know, to really get better at writing, because I really wanted to do well, right? I don't want to suck. I don't want to be shitty, despite this whole low self-esteem, this self-doubt that I had. And by the time I reached the final year, I was actually very, very good. Okay, wait. I think I have a short-term memory. I forgot whether I put the hey on it. Okay, that's nice. Yeah, by the final year, right, I was writing very well. I was so proficient at writing, and I was quite a good student by the end of the whole course. And that was pretty interesting. And I kind of knew that if I put in effort, I can definitely do well. And that moment made me realize something as I reflect back. I realized that actually when the teacher said that it was sheer luck that allowed me to get into, I don't know, to get good results and get into a very popular psychology course. Actually, partly could be luck, I will admit that, but actually partly is also my effort. Because what I realized is that I also put in a lot of hard work, and at the same time I had an attitude of constantly improving myself, and that is something I didn't realize after I kind of succeeded in improving my own writing skills. Then it kind of made me look back during O-levels preparation where, you know, I did a lot of things to try and improve myself as well. Whenever I finish my own homeroom teachers classes, then I will try to go to another homeroom teachers class, because I was part of this class that had they tag our group as the students where they didn't do so well. They are okay. So there was this example where the math class I was taking, all the students in this math class were not that great at math, so they put all of them together in one class. And I know I was good at math, but I don't know, it's just maybe some administrative error or whatever it is that led me to this class. So I wanted to learn more, because this class was too slow, was not enough for me, and I don't think I'm learning much here. So after I finish this class, I'll go for remedial classes in another class where all the students are very good at math, and I will just hop in their homeroom and I will leech on them, and eventually I was known to everyone in that class as the leecher, where I would always drop by and, you know, listen in and do their work and do like their past year papers and everything. And it was fine. I mean, because it was O-level preparation, hence the teachers didn't really care, oh, you should go to your homeroom, you should just stick to your homeroom. They were okay with everyone just hopping around, and as long as you're doing work, it's fine. So that was very surprising that she allowed me to do that. But eventually everybody know that I'm the leecher. And I would, when people hang out in school to study for the O-level papers, because we have a lot of mock papers, so people will hang back to study. I would just like, just try and I don't know, put myself in those situations. Like, I mean, they're studying in groups, right? And all these very smart people studying in I mean, I know them as well, so I would just like try and squeeze in and see what they are doing. Just be a busybody, or what, how do you even pronounce it? Yep. And I will try and see what they are doing and ask them questions and learn as much as possible. It's just basically being a leech. and that was how I became, that's how I learned and became better. And that was something I didn't, how do I say, I wasn't fully aware of it. I was absorbing knowledge through these actions that I'm taking. I wasn't, I don't know, putting 100% effort. I put in 30%, but the rest of the 70% was done through all these things where I was just observing, joining other people's classes. And that was what led me to scoring well. And I realized, I shouldn't have let the teacher's words affect me. I think it really affected me for quite some time. And I think maybe just my personality, I believe people's words more than I believe myself. And this is a hard lesson, when it comes to life. Like, people can say a lot of things to you, but you need to be clear about who you are and the efforts you put in, right? And hence, I think self-reflection is very important. To really sit down and ask yourself whether these words that you're talking to yourself, like, oh, you're an imposter, you're a fraud, you don't belong here, should kind of question those thoughts, because for those who are in a similar position, who got into a place where they don't belong, you should really question that. Maybe it's a fluke, maybe you are lucky, but think about it. I'm quite sure some parts of it is pure luck, but I'm quite sure there's a part of it takes effort as well. If you don't put yourself in the position to be chosen to go into a certain place, or you won't be able to get those opportunities, right? You need to put yourself out there. That's the scenario, isn't it? You need to put in effort. Then the luck plays a part as well. And of course, it's through your skills or attitude that people, chose you, or you were allowed to go into wherever you are. And that's true. And shouldn't let other people kind of sway your thoughts. And that is something that I learned from this whole situation. That don't let other people say that you don't belong because you work. You definitely work. I mean, and when it comes to working, everything is relative, right? You can say that I didn't work 100%, but compared to other people, you might have worked 100%, right? Relative to other people. Maybe in my situation, I worked 30%, but maybe the other students, my other peers, were working 10 to 20%. And perhaps, because they are an A student, the teacher thought that they will put in 100%, but you never know. Effort is something that nobody can, people can see it, but there's 24 hours in a day. The person can be doing work in front of a teacher, and when he or she go home, he just play games all day. And that's the case, right? That could be the case. Hence, shouldn't really let other people words affect you. And I know sometimes you can't really help it. It's not like I can just close my ear and not hear that, right? So it's important to just reflect and poke holes at all these words and try and understand whether it's true or not. And that is something that I learned. And hopefully this was helpful and useful for you. Yeah. And thanks for listening. If you wish for me to talk about your problem, you can always go to the description. Okay, for a moment my words just slurred. I don't know why. I think it's still too early in the morning. You can go to the description below, and then you can write in your problem. You don't have to state your name at all. There's no column for you to put your name, but you can sign off as well. Nobody is stopping you. And you can just talk about your problem. Then I will cover it in one of the episodes. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening, and I will see you all next time.